There is a kind of silence that only comes after losing something you thought would always be there. A house can still be full of people and yet feel empty. Your phone still receives messages. The sun still rises. The world continues exactly as it did yesterday. But inside, something is missing. Maybe it was a dream, maybe a person, maybe the future you spent years imagining. You smile when people ask if you're okay. You say, "I'm fine." And then another night arrives. Another conversation with your own thoughts. Another question you never say out loud. Why did Allah let this happen? Why now? Why me? We spend so much of our lives believing we own what was only entrusted to us. Our plans, our careers, our families, our health, our wealth, our certainty. We build walls around temporary things and call them permanent. Until one day Allah gently reminds us that nothing belongs to us except the moments we spend remembering Him. Long before you carried this pain, another servant of Allah carried a burden so heavy that history still remembers his patience. His name was Ayyub. Allah had blessed him with everything people spend their entire lives chasing. Wealth that seemed endless, children who filled his home with laughter, health that allowed him to work and worship, respect from everyone around him. If anyone looked successful, it was him. And then everything changed. Not in years, but one test after another. His wealth disappeared. His body became weak. The voices around him became quieter. People who once stood beside him slowly walked away until almost nothing remained, except one thing, his heart. Imagine waking up every morning without knowing whether anything will ever become easier. Imagine making dua and seeing no immediate answer. Imagine watching everything you love disappear while still believing that Allah is perfectly just. That was the patience of Ayyub, not the patience of someone who never suffered, but the patience of someone who never stopped trusting. He did not ask, "Why are you doing this to me?" He did not demand explanations. He did not bargain. He simply turned toward Allah and whispered, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Only that, a few words. But behind those words was complete surrender, complete certainty, complete love. Perhaps that is why this dua has survived centuries, because every broken heart eventually speaks the same language. Not the language of answers, but the language of hope. Maybe your test looks different. Maybe nobody knows about it. You open your laptop every morning searching for work. You check your bank account, hoping the numbers somehow changed overnight. You wait for a message that never comes. You pray for someone who is already gone. You carry responsibilities nobody else can see. And sometimes you wonder whether Allah still hears your voice. But the story of Ayyub teaches something the world keeps forgetting. Loss is not always rejection. Delay is not always denial. Silence is not absence. Sometimes Allah removes what your hands are holding so your heart can hold something greater. Sometimes He closes every door so you stop knocking on the wrong ones. Sometimes the path disappears because He wants you to walk by trust instead of sight. When Allah restored Ayyub, He did not merely return what had been lost. He multiplied it. Not because patience earns a transaction, but because the mercy of Allah is always greater than the imagination of His servants. So tonight, before you fall asleep, think about the thing you believe is gone forever. The opportunity, the relationship, the health, the dream. Then remember this. The same Allah who listened to Ayyub is listening to you. The same Allah who opened a way through impossible darkness still writes destinies that no human being can predict. So do not let loss convince you that your story is over. Perhaps this chapter is only where the mercy begins.